Hello guys, it's GuideRanger, and in this video I am going to show you how to make a Grenadier build. A build that utilizes the grenade kit. Now I have put 6 in explosions, 6 in firearms and 2 in tool belts. Now as for this build, I am using the static discharge trait, which it allows you to have a lightning chain attack that bounces onto enemies like in the other 2 builds that I made. Now I am going to start explaining. I have put 6 in explosives and 6 in firearms, mostly because to have the maximum amount of damage in explosives and to have the last trait in the explosives, and same with the firearms. I made it 6 in the firearms so that I will have full condition damage. Now the first trait that I did is sharpnel, which every grenade that I throw will have 15% chance to cause bleeding to the enemy. Now as for the second trait, I have chosen to increase the explosion damage by 10%, so that the damage will increase by 10%. Now the next one, which comes automatically when you put 5 in explosives, is this one, which is steel packed powder. Now what this does is that every grenade that I throw on hit, not on crit, on hit, will cause vulnerability. So in other words, in this build you will have a stack of 25 vulnerability on the enemy. So you can say that if you are playing in a dungeon and supporting your allies with a grenade build like this one, the enemy will be almost permanent 25% increased damage. And as for the last one, as I told you, it also increases the range, and at the same time, instead of throwing 2 grenades at a time, you will be throwing 3 grenades at a time. Now next one, the firearms. With 1 firearms you will have another one, which on critical chances now you will have a chance to cause bleeding. So on every hit you have a 15% chance, and now on critical chance you have a 33% chance to cause bleeding. And then when you put 5 in firearms, you will have this one, which will increase your damage output by 5% when the enemy is bleeding. And then as for the first trait that I have chosen this one, which is precise sights, so that I will surely be able to make a permanent 25 stacks of vulnerability on the enemy. And then as for the second trait, I have put infused precision, which this will almost give you a perma swiftness when you are fighting. Now as for the last one, like in the Juggernaut build, because this build focuses more and more on dealing different types of condition damage, I have made this one, which on every type of condition that the enemy has, I will deal 2% increased damage.
Did you ever fight when you came from a wild hunt?
I never had the pleasure.
Okay, so now I will try on this one. Let's see. I have already 24-25 stacks and a lot of bleeding stacks on him too. So as I tested this build, it should work quite well, but I hope I don't attract too much. Okay, the mob now has 25 stacks of vulnerability and a lot of bleeding, while as you are seeing now, the enemy has 5 condition types on him. So every grenade that I will throw at him, he will get 10% more increased damage. So in other words, at the moment the enemy is getting 5 additional damage because he is bleeding. He will get 10% more extra damage because I am throwing explosive attacks, so now he has 15% damage, and then because of the condition trait I am dealing 10% more additional damage, which is 25% damage. And you must remember that because in this build you will deal 24 permanent 24 to 25 vulnerability, then it means that I am dealing 50% more damage. This build doesn't have that much sustain, but has a lot of damage. So
Refreshing.
that's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed this build. If you like this video, just like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to write a request of what kind of build you want to see by writing the class and then writing the trait. So that's all, guys. Have a great weekend and see you next time. Hope you enjoyed this video.